Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back. You're watching iAllegedly, and got a good one for you today. Just walking around the lake. It's a holiday weekend, so one thing I'm going to do for you is I'm going to put a few videos out this weekend, cover a bunch of the news and everything that's happening, and please don't forget to hit the like button. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And don't forget, guys, sign up for Christmas in May. So many, thousands of you have signed up for it. We're giving a bunch of stuff away for free, and it's absolutely amazing. The gifts that have been added, and come this week, you guys will see everything that we're giving away. So it's very cool. Gift cards, bunch of cool stuff. ChristmasInMay.com. Now, Janet Yellen steps forward and gives us a drop-dead date on the debt ceiling, on when we're going to have our next big expenditure in the government that is going to create a problem. And the magical date is June 5th now. Remember, it was June 1st. June 1st, June 1st, it's June 1st. If we don't get this thing resolved by June 1st, we're upside down. Now it's June 5th. So if we don't get a deal worked out by June 5th, then cats are gonna live with dogs, and the sun won't shine, and everything will be awful. I am starting to believe that something's going to get worked out at the end. I think that they like the drama. I think that they like all of us talking about it. I think that they like the uncertainty because it makes other things not as important. That's just me. Now, first thing is personal consumption expenditures, PCE. This is the Fed's favorite guide for inflation and what they like to use to tell us if inflation is going up or going down. And remember, all we've been told is that inflation is receding. It's going in the other direction. You don't have to worry about inflation anymore because it's going away. Well, March, it was at 4.2%. In April, it's at 4.4%. So it's going in the wrong direction. But if you look at the trend, it's just fluctuating in the middle, just floating around. Okay? So it's staying within that range. It's not going super high. It's not dropping. It's just staying there. And the thing about economics and finance is that most things don't shoot up in a straight line. They don't shoot down in a straight line. They just stagger and move around. So it's kind of hanging out right now at 4.4%. But this is troubling because inflation is high right now, guys. And then all this stuff is stripped out of it. If you didn't have, transportation included in this, airplanes and things like that, it would be catastrophic, okay? So manufacturing's off. Everything is off right now. And nobody wants to look at that. Nobody. So there's a mishmash of stories today that I'm going to throw out, and they're in no particular order. And then I normally kind of keep them together, but this time they're kind of getting thrown out there. When First Republic sold to JP Morgan, it was realized that there was an executive at First Republic that had a higher salary than Jamie Dimon did. He made more than $36.5 million. He's unnamed at this point, but they got rid of him. They fired him. You bet they did. So guess what? Our main man, Jamie Dimon's number one. He's the highest paid banker. I guarantee you, with this, fact being, revealed that somebody was making more money than him, that there's somebody else out there making more money. Now, I'm not talking stock options and things like that, because you always hear about the banker that made $88 million and crazy stuff like that, and different executives. This guy had a salary that was higher than Jamie Dimon's, and that's just not allowed in this world because he's the king, and we're supposed to bow down to that king. It is funny what gets people upset. The average person is completely upside down right now. It's anticipated that over 42 million people are going to travel Memorial Day weekend. And there is something that has become very, prevalent in air travel, and that's called skip lagging. Now, what this is a way to save money. And airfare is outrageous. It's like everything else. But if you want to fly from here to Miami, well, you can take certain airlines that will have multiple layovers and fly from different places. And you've seen this, You fly from LAX to Denver, Denver to Chicago, and then Miami. And if you look at a map, it's not a straight line by any means, and this person is flying for 19 hours. One thing that people do that saves a tremendous amount of money is they get these really cheap flights, and the destination that is on the ticket eventually is, Miami, but you get off in Chicago where you really want to go, but you save a tremendous amount of money. That's called skip lagging, and the airlines frown upon this. They frown upon all these sites. They've sued individuals that have talked about this. But I, for one, love money-saving stuff. You guys want to save money? Remember the VPN I've talked about? Okay, they're on here once a month or so, and that is the greatest thing you can do to save money when you buy airfare. And I just proved this with my son a week ago. The thing about a VPN is it will mask your location. The cool thing about the one that I talk about, private internet access, you can pick your destination. You can pick where you're at. So you can change it from Southern California to Florida, to Texas, to whatever, Utah, whatever. So the thing about this is that airfare, if you're in California and you're flying out of LAX, normally I pay a higher ticket than somebody that's coming to LA to buy a ticket. So one thing that I do is use the VPN, mask myself, pick another state, regardless of wherever I'm flying from, or a friend. I've had friends do, hey, can you help me out and buy my ticket so that I can save some money? My son just did this and saved about $200 going to college. Okay? I've done it all the time. I tell my daughter to do this, and she's like, I saved $96 doing this. Every time I've flown, it has worked using the VPN. So try it, and but don't use your same computer. Go on your computer, look at the airfares, look what you're going to do, and then clear your cache, clear your location, clear everything off of it, clear your history, and use a second computer, and watch how the airfare will drop. It's crazy. It's absolutely criminal, but it's crazy. The Dollar Tree, which is not the Dollar Tree anymore, is talking about how much theft they have lately, and that they're going to have to raise prices. So not only is it not the Dollar Tree anymore, it's the $1.25 tree. The $1.25 tree is going to raise their prices again. And the CFO just stepped forward and said that, we're having a real problem with theft and theft rings. And again, guys, it's $1. So people are stealing things that are $1 right now. That's how bad this is. But we're going to combat theft. We're going to combat this with security items. Do you know if you have a store like they have in San Francisco where CVS has everything under lock and key, what do you think that costs to do to a store? One store. It's tens of thousands of dollars, if not more, to do that to a store. All my friends that are in the grocery business, retired friends, it's just outrageous to do that. So it's just unbelievable. And then you have to have the manpower to do this because, hey, I need toothpaste. Hey, oh yeah, I don't want that. Can you put it back? You know what I mean? It creates such a complete mess with all of this stuff. So I'm at the park, and these people have a pet goose. One thing that's troubling is here in Southern California, because of the environmental issues, they've charged things like bag fees for shopping. And some cities sued over it. Eventually, if you want a bag, you're paying 10 cents to 15 cents a bag when you go shopping at a grocery store and things like that. Certain stores don't require, hardware stores and things like that don't require the payment. But there's a company called ShopRite that they're charging $1. You want a bag? It's $1.99. The big bag is $2.99. Well, that's outrageous, guys. That's expensive. Oh, you can use the bag again, though, but you have to buy one of the good ones. You just can't have a cheap throwaway plastic bag anymore. Now, at one of my events, they had this one doctor talking about mold and all the stuff he was doing to fight mold and different things that cause us to get sick. And this was like 2018, 2019. And he was talking about reusing the shopping bags and how dirty they are, and that other people's hands go in there and you don't know what they've touched, and they've been touching other people's clothes and food all day, and how people just don't realize how dirty they are. And I never thought about that. I'm like, I'm not buying a reusable bag ever again for that reason. So there's that. Have you heard of the store Belk? B-E-L-K? department store, I've never heard of it. I don't know where they're at around the country, but they're closing 290 stores. Once again, because the economy is so good, they're going to close 290 stores. Mole's Record Shop, which, again, the fact that they're still a record store is amazing, but they're going out of business. You know what's funny is, growing up here in Southern California, we had things like Tower Records. We had individual record stores and CD stores when they came out. Now there's nothing like that, guys. There's no place like that to go shop at anymore. That would be a unique place to go to, because I think people would actually go buy CDs and stuff like that. But who knows? So they're done. All closing. Let me know. Where do you guys buy that stuff? Because, you want to get a CD for your car. You got to go buy it online. You got to go to Amazon. You got to buy the whole thing. So.
Say hi.
When she was 2 weeks old, we got her. That was 7 years ago.
That is so cool. Lucy, say hi.
What's her name? Lucy?
Goosey.
Goosey.
Say hi,
Got the name tag if you want to.
Oh, I saw. Yeah, I got that.
Goose,
Goosey.
look at the camera.
Lucy, look
Hi,
at the
Goosey.
camera.
Hi.
Look
Goosey.
at the camera.
Thank
Can
you.
you say duck duck?
Duck,
There
Goosey.
you go.
Robert Thompson, the CEO of News Corp, is talking about how artificial intelligence is going to absolutely destroy journalism. And it's going to destroy a lot of things, but it's going to make people obsolete with certain positions and certain writing. The fact that you can have a computer generate a website for you or an app inside of minutes is amazing, because, well, you can't charge somebody $10,000 for this website anymore because you generate it in minutes. So that makes no sense. Next thing is one thing I get a kick out of is how much money people make, and they don't think that they make much. When you look at the world's population and what income levels are around the world, it only takes like $40,000 to be considered in the 1% of the entire world. That's crazy. But I found a great article about what the average income is by age in the United States. So take a look at this, because you'll be surprised. Well, I make a lot more than that by your age. And again, I don't know where you can live for this and on these salaries, because here in Southern California, rents are through the roof. Everyone writes me and tells me how expensive food is, how expensive gas is, and how expensive housing is, whether they rent or purchase a home. It is outrageous. Now, one thing that is happening throughout this area is don't move, get a HELOC loan, live on that money. I just heard an ad driving here to the park, and I was appalled by this, loan company just telling people, take the money out, lock in your interest rate now for 2 years. We'll have no documentation. We'll do clearly a mathematical figure for you based on your equity. A lot of people still have equity. Man, oh man, when times get tough or somebody loses a job, you'd be surprised how quick they write checks against that credit line. And then the payments have to be made every month, after month, after month, after month. So there's that. You have to hand it to Elon Musk, because the number one car that was sold in the first quarter of 2023 was the Model Y from Tesla. It outsold the Toyota Corolla. 267,200 units as compared to like 243,000 for the Corolla, which is pretty amazing when you guys think about it, that many cars were sold, and they attribute it to a lot of things. Price, the discounts, the deals, everything. And there's a rumor that Tesla is going to start advertising and going to ad agencies and things like that. I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen it from my agent or anybody like that. But there's other car companies that go and, are going to talk to influencers and things like that to advertise their products. It'll be interesting to see if Elon Musk does that or not. So, again, bravo to them. So is this the beginning? Are we going to see more sales, or was it the incentives and the discounts that these people were given? I don't know. I really don't know. How come you're so mean? You're always mean. Be nice. Yeah, eat a pretzel, not the food. The goose's name was Goosey. They bought her at the feed store and raised her as a pet and walk her around. So, very cool. With the filming of this video, the debt ceiling impasse is only $70 billion. This is going to get resolved, guys. So there's a $70 billion difference between the Republicans and the Democrats right now, and a lot of things have been worked out, but it's going to be worked out, and all for naught. So all the other news, all the other important stuff around the world that affects us every day, you haven't thought about because we're getting this, worry that grandma's not going to have her Social Security. Friend of mine reached out. He went and bought something yesterday, and I can't say what he bought because I can't talk about stuff like that in the channel. And he said, hey, any chance that this is going to go on sale for the holiday weekend? And they said no. Sure enough, opens up their ad today, and it's on sale. Everything he bought was on sale, and he was furious. And he called me. He's like, what would you do? I called him. I was so mad. And I have to give him credit because he went down there and he got $80 back on his savings, and they gave it to him. So you have to do that sometimes. And again, cooler heads prevail with that stuff. So Asiana Airlines had some idiot on the airline do what we were told never could be done. And that was they opened up the emergency hatch, during a flight. And if you see the video, and if you look at the story below, you can see it. This is just crazy that this guy did it. Now, one thing that's nuts is the plane landed safely. Only 9 people had to be hospitalized. I'm not trying to minimize that, but it was only 700 feet off the ground when this happened. So it was very close to landing when this idiot did this. This is the same airline, guys, as I started researching this, that had the plane crash in San Francisco a few years ago. So nuts, 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 nuts. The final story, the Oakland A's, they've worked out a deal with Las Vegas, and they are going to move on the site where the Tropicana's at. And Vegas is now a sports town. And what's crazy was when UNLV was there, and they were really dominant, and Jerry Tarkanian was the coach, you couldn't bet on UNLV basketball. And now you can bet on the Raiders. And now they're going to have a Major League Baseball team in a few years. They're going to build a 30,000 seat arena, but it's crazy. I mean, they're going to level the Tropicana, put those people out of a job, and starting to talk to different union people about how they have to notify them and let them know. They're going to pay a ton of money for wages and things like that to make everybody happy, but they're going to build that stadium there and get that team out of there. Now, whether you like baseball or not, there's a lot of history there with, Vida Blue, Reggie Jackson, Raleigh Fingers, Mark McGuire, all that stuff. The Kirk Gibson home run with Dennis Eckersley, all that stuff is cool. But it'll be interesting to see that, because if I ever went to Vegas on a business trip and there was a game there, I would go to the stadium in a second to go see them lose. So remember that, okay? There will be a lot of videos this weekend. I have a special guest coming too, and I will share him with you shortly, okay? So please don't forget to hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell notification. Email me anything that you want to ask me. hello@iallegedly.com. Use your name too, and even a first name, okay? And if you send a link to a video or anything like that, describe what it is first, okay? And also, guys, again, use the VPN for shopping, okay? Try it. Because especially airline flights, watch how this happens. Watch how if you look at your desktop computer and you search airline flights, and then you go and you clear your iPad or your tablet, watch how cheap it is after that, because it's crazy. It's just criminal that these guys do this for the same seats on the same airlines. Onward and upward, guys. I will see you guys very soon. There's a lot more to cover in the coming days, weeks, and months, and I'll see you soon.